The beauty of a move lies not in its appearance, but in the thought behind it. Aron Nimzowitsch. Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in this video I want to share with you one of the best games ever played. With white piece is playing legendary Danish chess player and chess author Aron Nimzowitsch, and his opponent is Polish chess player Akiba Rubinstein. The game was played in 1926 in Dresden. Nimzowitsch opened up with c4, to which Rubinstein answered with c5. Symmetrical English is on the board. Knight f3 was met with knight f6, knight c3, three knights variation is on the board. d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, e4, a move which at the time was a novelty. Knight b4, bishop c4, e6. Well, according to modern theory in here, the most popular move is considered to be knight d3 check, to which white is answering with king e2, and this actually leads to a very sharp and dynamic game. And then white is going for b4 in order to lure away this pawn and establish a classical pawn center. But instead to bishop c4, Rubinstein answered with a passive looking e6 move, which has its downsides as well. It's blocking the bishop's diagonal. Here Nimzowitsch castled kingside, knight c6 d3, knight d4, knight takes d4, c takes d4, knight e2. And now a move like f4 just asks itself to be played, which will allow white to organize an attack. a6, knight g3, bishop d6, while black is preparing castling kingside. f4 is already on the board, and there comes the queen f3, king h8, a prophylactic move. Black is preparing f5 and is moving away his king from this vulnerable diagonal. Bishop d2, f5. This move is somewhat hindering white's attack, but at the same time this is somewhat weakening black's position as well. Rook e1, knight c6, rook e2, white wants to double up his rooks on the e file. Queen c7, e takes f5, e takes f5. And there we have it, we reached the critical position. In here, Nimzowitsch made a very important decision, and he made one of the most famous moves in his career. I have to tell you that I checked up this position both with Stockfish and Lila, and their suggested continuations are lack of creativity. Rook e1, rook b1, or a3 are among the suggested move by that chess machines, but the move which Nimzowitsch made was knight h1. The simple retreat is the strongest move in this position, with which the knight is starting a long journey. Actually, the knight on g3 was not doing much, and by playing knight h1, Nimzowitsch wants to bring it on this attacking g5 square. French chess composer and author François Le Lionnais describes knight h1 as the strongest attacking move ever played. A backward attack which shows the creativity of Aron Nimzowitsch, something which modern powerful chess machines are lack of. Bishop d7 was Rubinstein's answer. Knight f2, white is proceeding with his idea. Rook e8, rook e1. We see the exchange of rooks on e2. Knight d8, knight h3, bishop c6, queen h5, g6, queen h4. So by going for g6, black somewhat weakened his king side. And now already white knight is ready to jump on g5. But interestingly, after king g7 in here, Nimzowitsch made another very subtle move, and instead of going for the immediate knight g5 move, he first played queen f2. He's first targeting the pawn on d4 and is forcing black to withdraw either his queen or the bishop from the defense of his king side. Black decided to protect the pawn on d4 by playing bishop c5, and by playing b4, Nimzowitsch harassed it, putting on a somewhat awkward position, and then he moved back his queen on h4. There it comes. The queen is back with redoubled strength, and already white knight is ready to jump on g5. Right now the direct threat is rook e7 check, right? Black neutralized it by playing rook e8, and I have to tell you that rook f6 is not good because of this knight g5, and if h6 then knight h7 can follow a very powerful move. In our game we see rook e8 answer, but here comes rook e5, another powerful move, and actually it's the vulnerability of black king which makes this move possible. You can't win a pawn because after queen takes e5, white has this queen h6 check, and then black king is getting checkmated. There we have it. We see a checkmate on the board. It was after rook e5 that Rubinstein collapsed and he made a mistake by playing knight f7. At this point, according to Stockfish, the best defensive move is queen d7, both strengthening the pawn on f5, already g4 is not that dangerous, and also freeing the c7 square for the bishop. A knife move like g4, then h6, and looks like that black can prolong his resistance. As you may have already guessed, f takes g4 is not good because of this f5, and white's attack is becoming irresistible. Let's go back in our game to rook e5. We see knight f7 answer, and now let's see what's the problem with it. Here we see bishop takes f7, queen takes f7, knight g5. We have a double attack, and black was forced to move his queen on an awkward square, after which we have rook takes e8, bishop takes e8, and queen e1. Another subtle move, a backward attacking move with which white queen is occupying the e file and already is ready to harass black king. Bishop c6 was made by Rubinstein, and we have queen e7 check, king h8, and another heavy blow by Nimzowitsch, b5. Well, it may seem that all these moves are really very easy to find, but in reality only super strong players, creative geniuses can find these moves. White's whole idea is to free this b4 square for the bishop, and now whatever black plays, if black captures on b5 with a pawn or with a bishop, in both cases knight e6 is winning. The threat is queen f6 check. If h5, then anyways queen f6 check, and then knight g5 check, followed by bishop b4. Now can you understand the whole idea of freeing the b4 square for the bishop? Bishop f8 is coming and black king is getting checkmated. And yes, seems like that at this point there are no safe squares for black's light squared bishop. If bishop d5, then this time queen e5 check is coming, and then queen takes d5, or if a move like bishop e8, then again queen e5 check followed by queen takes e8. After b5, Rubinstein played queen g7, offered the exchange of queens, but he's doing it at the cost of giving up a piece, and now let's see how Nimzowitsch realized the advantage. The rest is just a matter of time. And now let's see how is white going to win this game. Bishop a5. This time the dark squared bishop is occupying an attacking square. Knight b6. h6, h4. g5, h5. g4, bishop e5. And finally at this point we have a resignation. One of the possible winning ideas for white can be bringing the king on a5 and winning this pawn. Yeah, seems like that there is no defense. This is just one of the possible winning lines. That's why at this point finally Rubinstein capitulated. He's just a piece down. A very, very impressive game by Aron Nimzowitsch, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. Usually I'm publishing games involving queen sacrifices, but this time decided to make a nice exception and shared with you this positional masterpiece, which in many cases is more impressive of course than usual machine-like queen sacrifices. Well, in the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to find that winning line for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. Feel free to check them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.